All right, cat people, buckle up because today we are going deep, really deep on the purr.
Yeah, a deep dive into paradise.
You got that right, that rumbling sound, the one that just makes everything better. Well, turns out it's way more than meets the ear, so to speak.
Way more.
We're diving into this really cool article from Chaton Blog. It's called, get this, Pourquoi les chats ronronnent, découverte des bienfaits et significations cachées.
Catchy, right.
Totally, though I'll admit I had to look up the translation. It's Why Cats Purr, Discovering the Benefits and Hidden Meanings for those of us who, well, didn't master French.
A very fitting title. Get ready to unlock those secrets.
I am so ready. We're talking like the nitty-gritty science of how those rumbles even happen, why they do it, not just, oh, happy kitty, though that's part of it. But get this, there might even be health benefits.
Oh, absolutely. There are fascinating health benefits to explore. The science behind purring is really wild when you get down to it.
Okay, so spill the beans. How does a purr even work? What's going on in those furry little bodies?
Well, it all starts with the larynx.
Right, the voice box, like when we humans talk or sing or, shout at the TV during a game.
Exactly. But here's the thing about cats. They purr when they breathe IN and OUT.
No way, seriously. I always thought it was just when they breathe out.
Nope. They've got this cool ability to make the muscles in their larynx vibrate constantly, like nonstop rumbling.
It's like their own personal sound spa. So are those vibrations the key then?
They are. You see, cats have these special folds, elastic folds in their larynx, and we humans don't have them. These folds vibrate super fast, something like 25 to 150 times every single second.
Hold up, 25 to 150 times per second. That is insane.
It is fast and gets even cooler. So we measure those vibrations in hertz, right? Well, that frequency range, that 25 to 150 hertz, it's not just a fun fact. That range, it might have healing powers.
You telling me my cat's purr is like a superpower?
Well, maybe not a superpower, but it's up there. Studies show that frequencies in that range, the same ones our cats purr at, can actually stimulate tissue regeneration.
Get out. Really?
Yes. And it might even help bones heal faster.
So my cat's purr is like dot medicine. This is blowing my mind.
But think of it like this. A cat's purr, it's not just a sound. It's like this healing frequency.
That is wild. But hold on. Cats don't just purr when they're hurt, right? Like, my cat, Simon, he turns into a purr machine if he even sees the treat bag, let alone when I'm actually giving him a treat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the why of purring. We've talked about how it works, but the reasons behind it, that's even more interesting. It's not always about pure bliss, like we often think.
So we're going beyond the happy cat stereotype here. So if it's not always about being content, what else is going on?
Well, remember those healing frequencies we talked about? Purring, it might actually be a way for cats to, self-soothe when they're stressed.
Really? Now that seems a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? My cat turns into a hissing, scratching mess when he's stressed. Not a big cuddle puddle of curs.
It does seem odd, right? But think about it. Those vibrations, those healing ones, they could also be calming the cat down. It's a built-in coping mechanism for anxiety or discomfort.
So like their own little way to deal with things.
Exactly. Their purrs might even help them recover faster from an injury. Imagine that.
Okay, so maybe a trip to the vet, which, let's be honest, my cat thinks is torture, maybe that could actually make him purr.
It's possible. The article even mentions moving, to a new house. That can be really stressful for a cat, and it might make them purr more, too. It's not because they're happy, necessarily. It's how they cope.
Wow. This is incredible. We've got healing purrs, stress-busting purrs. It's like the Swiss Army knife of cat communication. What other secrets are these furry little enigmas hiding?
Well, the article gets into how purring, it's not just about the cat's inner world, It's how they talk to us. They're humans and to each other.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. Tell me everything.
Ever notice how you can practically hear your cat's stomach rumbling from across the room?
Oh, tell me about it. My cat, Simon, he's got this internal clock. Like he knows exactly when dinner time is. And the combination of meows and purrs is almost deafening.
Well, those demanding little purrs, they aren't just them being cute, It's actually their way of communicating with us.
Wait, really? So they're not just passively hoping I'll magically whip out the food?
Nope, not even a little. The article talks about how cats use different kinds of purrs to say different things.
Different purrs for different purposes? Like what?
Well, remember those frequencies we were talking about? Like a hungry cat, they often use this more insistent purr, higher pitched even, especially when they're trying to get your attention.
Okay, so that feed me purr, that one that seems to go right through me, it's actually like a tactic.
You got it. And it works on the best of us. And it's not all about food. Cats also purr to say hi to each other, let each other know they come in peace, even to, like, comfort their kittens.
Ah, that's so sweet. My cats, Simon and Luna, they'll purr at each other when they're all curled up together. I always thought it was adorable, but it's more than that, isn't it?
It is. Those little rumbles go way beyond expressing their own feelings.
Mhm.
It's how they connect with others.
This is so cool. It's like we're uncovering this whole secret language, And honestly, it makes me feel closer to my cats. Like I get them a little bit better.
Exactly. It's about understanding those little nuances in their communication.
And speaking of connections, what about how those purrs make us feel? They're humans because, come on, there's a reason we melt when we hear it.
Oh, for sure. It's more than just a cute sound. Remember those vibrations we talked about? The ones cats use for healing, for calming themselves down.
Yeah, well, they seem
Oh,
to work on us humans too.
okay, yes. Tell me everything. I swear, when my cat is like snuggled up on my lap, purring away, all my stress just disappears. Am I imagining that, or is there something to it?
You are definitely not imagining it. Research is showing that hanging out with a purring cat, it can have legit health benefits. Okay, hit me with it. What kind of benefits are we talking about here?
Well, for starters, there's a link between being around a purring cat and lower blood pressure.
Wait, are you serious? So my cat's like a furry blood pressure cuff.
Think of it that way. And lower blood pressure, that's huge. It's good for our heart. It lowers the risk of stroke, just like overall better cardiovascular health.
That's incredible. What else?
Well, there's also research that suggests these frequencies might even help lower cortisol levels.
Yeah.
The stress hormone.
So it's not just in my head. Hanging out with my cat actually helps me de-stress. Science says so.
Exactly. And it gets even wilder. There's some early research out there that's looking into whether these frequencies could even help with bone healing in humans.
Wait, are you being serious right now? Like, the same way cats might use their purrs to help themselves heal, being around that could potentially help us heal faster, too.
It's still early days. More research is definitely needed, but those initial findings, they're really exciting. It makes you wonder, right? Like, what else is hidden in a cat's purr?
Right. And speaking of hidden things, I bet there are still some big misconceptions about why cats purr, right? Little bits of misinformation we need to clear up.
Oh, absolutely. Like, did you know that not all cats purr?
Wait, what? Now that's a mystery. Hold on, back up a sec. Not all cats purr. How is that even possible? I thought it was like cat 101, a given.
It does sound kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. Some cats just don't. And it's not that they can't. It's more like they just choose not to.
So are these the like super zen masters of the cat world holding back on those good vibes?
Ah, I wish. No, it's more about individual cats and how they communicate, I think. Cats are all about being subtle, right? And a purr is just one of their tools. Like, the article mentions how cats who don't purr much, they use other ways to get their point across.
Right, like the headbutts. My friend's cat never purrs, but she's covered in headbutts all day long.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe those headbutts are his version of a purr symphony, is their way of saying, I love you, without, rattling the windows.
Ah, I love that. Okay, so not all cats purr, duly noted. Anything else we should know?
Well, there's this idea that a loud purr equals a super-duper happy cat, and that's not always true.
Really? So my Simon, who, like we established, can practically shake the furniture with his purrs, he might not be the happiest cat on the block.
He might be, but it's not always about volume, like us humans, some cats are just naturally louder than others. Their purr, it's like their own little song.
So Simon's not trying to break any sound barriers. He's just being his loud, purr-tastic self.
Exactly. Just part of what makes them so unique.
I love that. So, to wrap up today's deep dive, those rumbling sounds, they're more than just noise. It's a whole language. It's healing. It's how they connect with us. Mind-blowing, honestly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, everyone, keep on purring.